Hello, and we are back for episode 6 of Kickin Back. Wow, 6 episodes in already. It's kind of wild. But yeah, I am joined today by the Kickback team again. So Ollie, Emma, and Kirsten. How are we all doing?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
We're good.
Oh, that's a relief. All good. Okay, so today, obviously lots of very exciting things have been happening within the company, and now we've officially cast our show. I don't know what else to say, which is very exciting. So today we are just going to be talking a little bit about the whole process and what we've kind of like gone through in getting our final cast up until this point. So my first question is, have any of you actually done casting panels before, and how have you found it in the past? Like, was this a new experience, or was this something that you've kind of done quite a few times in the past?
We've all sat on panels before because we've all definitely been in guild show production teams, meaning we've all sat on panels before. I'm not sure whether the whole production team have done that before, so I think it was new for some of us, but for us, I think we're old hands being friendly and running auditions.
Yeah. I mean, the first production panel I think I sat on was the guild show that we worked on last semester. So yeah, I think this was number 2 then. Or no, that's a lie. We sat on the casting panel for the digital productions.
Yeah, we're forgetting our own work, aren't we?
Yeah, you can't. How are you gonna do a phone call cataclysmic like that?
No, yeah, that's true. Well, I guess it was slightly different because for those two we were on Zoom, and so we were watching a lot of self-tapes and we were watching just a lot of video stuff, and you feel kind of disconnected a little bit. Whereas these ones, I mean, I was still on Zoom because I got COVID when we were casting, so I was on like a little laptop on a desk. But for everyone else, like, it was just easier to be like in the room and, you know, having that sort of more personal connection with the people who are coming in.
You know what? Funny you say that, Emma, because my next question was going to be about that. So I was going to say, what was it like adapting to the Zoom format during the round of auditions? Because obviously it wasn't like last time where we were all collectively on Zoom. You were the only one on Zoom. Like, how was that? Was there pros and cons? Like,
it was, I mean, pros were I didn't have to walk over to the Gillett Centre. And you know, take that 15-minute trek from my house. Cons, I guess, because a lot of the time, especially in like discussions after each person had gone, it was very difficult for me to kind of interact, because I didn't want to. You're very, you know, when you're conversing with people, you can sense like when they're going to take a pause, whatever. It's a little bit more difficult for me to kind of butt in with what I wanted to say. But in terms of watching people, it was all right. I mean, the room was quite echoey, and so that distorted a little bit. So I was glad that there was like a sizable amount of people in the room to be like, oh, I enjoyed this, because then like if that didn't come across camera, I was like, oh well, it, you know, that's what's been happening. I'm just not feeling it. So it was all right. It was better than I thought it was going to go.
Yeah, I was going to say your Wi-Fi was really impressive, to be honest.
No,
like,
it's never been that strong like, in my life.
It's so impressive. So the casting process, was it different to like what you guys were used to? Obviously, seeing as now we're like an external company, we're our own thing, we're not connected to the uni. How was that different?
Not massively. Well, I mean, we're all kind of following the model of what we were used to with kind of like guild productions and stuff like that. But it was kind of nice to sort of have that independence and, you know, knowing that we have we don't have an external entity to sort of answer to. You know, we are sort of top of this dog. That's a really bad metaphor. We were the top of this dog. Top dog, something like that.
Yeah, top dog. Yeah. I like top of this dog though. A specific dog. We're on top of a specific dog.
We've got the name of the podcast now. Great.
Top of the dog, yeah.
Dog, yeah.
Yeah, so there was kind of something quite freeing about it, and the fact that we could break tradition and sort of the way we arranged stuff like that was quite nice.
Cool.
We could like ask for more stuff as well. I know I find it really useful having like headshots. So quite a few people sent over headshots, and I was able to be like, oh, I recognize your face, when we were kind of talking about casting. Whereas sometimes guild policy, like you can, but it's not common. So you just kind of have to remember people by name and by like specific things that they did, which is more difficult for the way my brain is wired. So it was nice to be like, yeah, you know what, I can ask for a headshot because like we're the company. Like it was good.
Yeah. Sick. So Kirsten, what would you say was your favorite part of the process?
Oh, that's a tricky question. I think it was nice coming into Callbacks, because I didn't really go to the other auditions and stuff, but coming into the Callbacks, and well, firstly, it's so much less stressful when you're not the one who's auditioning. Like,
yeah,
not having to like worry about it, and just being able to be in the room without like stressing about like, oh, what am I doing? Like, how well am I doing? But it was really nice seeing, I guess, the different extracts, and like also getting to like pair people up and seeing how they worked together. And like getting to kind of play around with that a wee bit. And then I was filming some of them too, so that was nice, because then we had something to refer to, and also being able to kind of share that with people who weren't in the room, and that's not something that we've done in guild drama before, so I think that kind of helped make the process a little bit easier for everyone too. It was funny though, because the door handle on that room was broken.
We don't talk about the door handle.
I would just like to point out, if anyone's listening, that wasn't us. It was like before we arrived.
Don't touch that.
I would like to add to that. I was doing some campus tours for the University of Birmingham today, and when in the Gillett Centre, I did notice that room is now unavailable and locked up because of that door handle.
No way! Oh God!
So I was just bringing in parents and stuff like, oh yeah, so we can't go into that room. I can say on paper now that I did not witness the destruction of that door handle. And then moving on to the next one. So
I just loved how afterwards we kind of just like picked it up and like tried to put it back on the door. As
it was both. It was the outside one, which would have been fine because we would still be able to get out, and it's like coming from the outside, it's a push door. But it was also the inside one that went, meaning that we could have just like trapped ourselves. That's the ultimate callback though. Like, can you survive 24 hours with us in a room and not go mad?
That's a real challenge here.
Kickback themes escaped from
yes.
Oh, we came in from prod, opened the door, it was broken, you had one handle, so I tried to make it better and ended up with the other handle. We were both just standing there with his hands.
It was like a Three Stooges sketch. It was embarrassing.
And obviously you could like use it as well, couldn't you? As a little door stop. It was multi-purpose. It was great. So, you know, it wasn't the end of the world that it broke. Not that we did it, but
wasn't us.
Wasn't us. Putting that out there now. All right, so getting back on track. So what surprised you the most during the process, and what would you say was the most challenging part of the process? And that is for everyone to think on, which is also quite a loaded question, so you can take a moment.
I'll tell you what was challenging was putting people like casting afterwards and trying to put everyone into like their little groups.
Oh, the pairs.
That took a bit of thinking. Because we had some people like, oh, they were so good at this role and that role, and then we ended up with like a and a B list, and so that was a bit of a logistical fun one to play around with.
Mm-hmm.
That was difficult. Marketing it and getting people to come was also very difficult, because we probably did that a little bit later than we should have. It was a little bit last minute, and so for like the day before and the day of the rehearsals, it was me printing out 1 billion posters and vandalizing the Celio Drama Campus with them. Most of them have now been taken down, but there's still a few lurking.
Still a few.
I did that during my site-specific class the next week because we did like an exploration of the building, and like during that I was just taking all of this stuff down because the dates had passed.
Terrible.
Wounded. Oh, but you know what? Big up Linda for sending out that email. Wow, what a little legend. We love you, Linda.
Head of stage management at DTA, for those who are not familiar with the incredible Linda Muirhead.
What an icon. Man, so yeah, any surprises? Would you say anything that surprised you guys?
The amount of talent we saw.
Yeah, oh my god, it was insane. Like, you'd have somebody come in and they'd audition for a couple of parts, and you'd be like, whoa, they were really good, and they spark really lively conversation afterwards as well, which is always a good sign if you're talking about them. And then we'd be like, okay, no one can top that, and then the next person in the room will come in and do like some of the same extracts and some different ones, and we were like, whoa, they did this. Like, it's cool to see that. It's just insane, man, that there's so much talent in our like local community. And we got to see so much of it as well.
Yeah, 100%. Anyone else?
Do you want to take this one, Kirsten?
I'm trying to think what I was. Yeah, I mean, I would have gone for like the talent as well, for being surprised. Not because we don't think people are not good, but it's always something completely different when people come in and like bring to life your work that you've kind of spent like a really long time. I felt very real as well. I was like, oh my gosh, like we've been writing stuff since October, is that right?
We started the writing process in September, and I think we started putting ink on paper in October.
Yeah, so it's been like a while, and when you say, oh yes, we'll start casting in January, and you're like, oh yeah, that's so far away or whatever, and you're thinking, and then you're actually in the room casting it. We've got our first rehearsal, next week. It feels very real now.
So mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what? In you saying that, though, brings me on to my next question. Ollie and Kirsten, what was it like? Because obviously you guys were writers on the project. What was it like being a writer sat in the casting room? And did it make casting decisions more difficult in regards to finding actors that kind of like specifically fit your visions? Obviously, you have a very kind of like specific way of how you like want your characters to be, because obviously you wrote them. So tell me a little bit more about that.
It's always like a massive ego boost, like watching people like perform your text. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, it makes you feel pretty good. It was really interesting this time around, because there were some really interesting interpretations, and there was like a few ones I saw where I was like, I never saw the character like that, but that totally works, and I like what I'm seeing. So yeah, I mean, there was some of those, and there was also, there was some people where it was just like, okay, no, that is exactly spot on how I saw it. And so it was just kind of nice seeing that variety and people doing their own thing with your text.
Yeah, because I had like a vision for my characters, A&O. I wanted them to be really close friends. That was really important to me, that came out. And when we had people in groups and stuff, it was really nice seeing that played out and kind of the different interpretations. But I was like, I must keep an open mind to what's been given to me, and like not stick too much to like what I'd envisioned. I wanted there to be some creativity in it, but at the end of the day I was like, oh well, I like those two brought a very nice kind of like personality in it, and brought out different characteristics I hadn't thought about before. And it was fun just watching people, play around with text. Like, most of what I've written in the past has been for myself. So it was nice to kind of see other people, I guess, saying what I'd written. And even in the read through as well, it was really lovely having the whole thing read out. Slight ego boost there.
Slight ego boost. And you know what? That's great. And I mean, obviously, we've got the perfect cast now, and you guys, like, the visions have been met. And you were talking about the read-through, brings me on to my next question. Obviously, the first official read-through was on Monday, which is insane. how was that? How did that go? Like, tell me about it.
That was really good. It was because they managed to get through like all of the scripts, all of the 4 storylines, and everybody else got to hear what everyone else was working on, which is probably going to be one of the first times that they do before the actual show, because we'll be working on the storylines sort of more isolated, and during the performance they'll be doing their own thing the whole time at the same time as everyone else is. So it's like one of the only times they can really appreciate everybody else's storyline. But they were coming to it relatively cold. We sent them the scripts the night before, and by the night before I mean the night before. But they just the colors that they found in it, like just off the bat, it boded really, really well for rehearsals in terms of how much they brought to the table, literally for the table read. I was very impressed. I was just sitting there making like tons of notes, like, that was really good. We should work on this.
All good stuff. So Ollie, Kirsten, what about you guys? What did you think?
Oh, okay, thank you. It was really lovely kind of having everybody, or as many people who could be there, on the call. It was actually really interesting because of the way timings and stuff worked out. We didn't read through the scripts in the order that it was kind of being presented in. We started like at a different section and worked our way around. And I think that was really nice because that'll be more reflective of what the actual show is like. Like it's not a beginning and end. There is no beginning and end. It is this kind of circular loop. So that was, I guess, the read through, one of the ways that it will be seen by some audience members and not others, which is really sweet. But yeah, it was really nice having everybody on the call for the first time.
Yeah, it was really cool just seeing how like enthusiastic and supportive everyone was of like each other as well. It was just like a really nice, friendly space, and that was really great to see. Everyone just seems genuinely, looking forward to it, and that's always really encouraging. It's like, hey, this thing I wrote is good, and this article is good. Thank God we're making good stuff. So yeah, it was really
Stick. Oh, I'm so glad it went so well. I was so sad that I missed it, but obviously the rehearsals start next week, so everything is moving very quickly, very swiftly. So I guess my final question is, what are you most looking forward to now that the production is kind of like well underway with a full cast?
Ooh.
I'm looking forward to being back in a room, because all of the stuff that I've directed for Kickback so far has been like on location, like we were filming things, which is an entirely different animal, or we were like over Zoom, but now we're very much back on a sort of style which I consider my home turf. So I'm like, yeah, I know how to do this. This is going to be fine, and it's just going to be fun, and I'm excited. I'm excited to work with all of them and like really delve into these characters and make these storylines really superb.
Yeah. In a way, I'm the thing I'm most looking forward to is that kind of performance week where we've done all the work, we're there, we're showing it, and it's just like giving this kind of thing to the world and going like, hey, this is what we've been working on the last few months. We've made a live production. We're a real theatre company making stuff. And just kind of really showing that we're dead serious about this, and we're dead serious about what we're creating, and we want this to be a fun collaborative process that everyone can enjoy. So
yeah, I think it'll be really exciting when we get to June and we will be doing show week. I mean, at the moment I'm moving into my co-producer roles, so all the scheduling, logistics and other things that come along with that, but I think to have this in June, and also because for a lot of us this is our last year of uni, or sort of last year if we're going off to America, but it'll be such like a nice kind of finish, I think, and people are putting so much work into it already. That'll be really nice to have it all come together. And I know it's going to be a really stressful, busy time over the next few months because exams and folios and extended essays, but that's theatre, isn't it? You have all the stress and you get to the end, you're like, look at what we made.
Showbiz, baby. Hell yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, when we get to the end of it, it's just gonna be kind of emotional. It's gonna be an emotional roller coaster.
It is
but
gonna be.
I'm so excited, and obviously rehearsals start next week. It's all underway. Obviously, we're gonna be announcing the official cast very soon, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, it's all happening here at Kickback. Insane. But yeah, that is all my questions. Yeah, we did it. Amazing. How are we feeling, guys? How are we feeling? We're at the end of the week. It's been a long, very long, busy week. How are we kind of like?
Yeah, it's been a long week for, even though it's only the 5th of March, what feels like a long month.
Yeah.
Woo!
I was like, I'm ready for it not to be March anymore, and I'm ready for it to be sunny too, so we can
Yes. Yeah.
warmth.
I know what you mean. I'm very over March. Like, just give me April.
No, don't do that. That's like 3 weeks of rehearsal time that you're cutting there. Let's not waste the time away, please.
I'm suffering, okay?
This is the thing. It's like, oh, I'm over March. Give me April. Oh wait, no, that's not good. Give me June. Oh no, that's not good. And then
Don't give me June.
April, May.
Don't give me June until.
I forgot about May. It's just like.
Let's not talk about May.
Yeah.
Before you know it, like deadline's gonna be here, and then we're all gonna be
Don't.
like, actually, no, I don't want it anymore. No, take me back to March.
Take me back about. Actually, no, I was going to say take me back about 4 years ago, but that wasn't good either.
You've made it this far now. There's no
Leave
turning back.
the cold, shallow pits.
Oh man. But yeah, well, I hope you guys all have a great evening doing whatever you're doing. And yeah, we will see you Kickbackies next time for episode 7. Exciting times. Hopefully.
Sorry, someone just came in and turned the light off, which is why I
wasn't gonna say anything.
I feel like
the void again.
if you're one of our listeners, then I'm not in my usual location because it's my friend's birthday party, and so I've commandeered a room, and somebody thought it would be great fun to interrupt my very professional company podcast session by turning off the light. So now I'm just the void, and I think that's fine.
That's fine. It's beautiful. I mean,
sorry to interrupt your outro. It was really nice, but I felt I had to mention it because I can't move and change the situation.
You know what? I hope you're okay, Emma. We haven't lost you to the void just yet. But yeah, hopefully we'll be back next episode with more progress, and we can give you all some more updates on the show. Woo! Exciting times. All right. We will see you all very soon. Have a good rest of the month.
See you later. Bye.